Hello and welcome to Dr. Dorian's House of Killers, where we take a look at all your favorite killers and see how they could be implemented into Dead by Daylight. Today we are looking at It, Pennywise the Clown. As always, we will start off with basic stats. It, in my opinion, would be a 115%, 4.6 meters per second movement speed killer. He would have a height that would be medium, and his terror radius would be big. In case you don't know, in my opinion, map effects should always spawn, and it doesn't matter what kind of power the killer takes. Also, I feel killers should have at least 2 different types of base powers to make it more interesting, so that when you load into a map and you find a jigsaw box, a bear trap, or something like that, it doesn't mean, oh, now we have to look through the grass for traps, or now we have to, well, I guess the pig is bear traps, but that you don't get a main play style. For example, a pig could have a different type of charge or something like that, or the trapper could have a different type of trap effect on the traps, I guess, maybe, or something like that. Not with all killers it would be possible. I still feel that killers should have different types of effects, different types of powers. And you shouldn't be able to deduct what killer it is, or at least what powers he has, just from seeing a jigsaw box, or seeing a trap, or seeing a well, or something like that. Anyway, enough rambling. The map effect of Pennywise would be illusion portals. Portals spawn across the map, appearing and disappearing in certain intervals. Would have to be tested out what kind of intervals they are. And the illusion portals wouldn't be that easy to spot. They would be maybe a bit easier than the Wraith in form of his invisibility, maybe exactly that way. So something sort of vibrating or shimmering, but not something that you can see without paying attention for it, I would say. Okay. First power that Pennywise would have, in my opinion, would be every fear. It takes the form of a random killer for 60 seconds. It has 2 charges. I think I'll say Pennywise. Okay. Pennywise takes the form of a random killer for 60 seconds. Pennywise has 2 charges. The charge that recharge over time. I don't know if it would be a good idea to have all the killers in the roster in it. I think that might make it just a bit hard for the game to function, and also a bit, not so fun for the killer, maybe. In my opinion, or it might be an idea that you have to take 5 killers, but you can decide which 5 killers you take in which you can transform. That way you could use without or add-ons, or maybe limited add-ons or something like that. You could take I don't know, hillbilly, nurse, huntress, Freddy, doctor, something like that. And you have 60 seconds to use their powers, for example, that you have active in your profile at that moment without add-ons. Was the first power. The first alternate power would be Fear It. Out of illusionary portals, a random killer illusion spawns. When close enough, the survivors have to make a skill check or be feared. Feared would then stun a killer for 1 second or something like that. And they scream in fear, sort of giving away their location. Pennywise can also wear the illusion like a costume. So, in effect, he could trigger it. The effect, or maybe if it on occasion just spawns on him and he doesn't know he's wearing it, or maybe there's an indicator. But that way you don't. It's not like you can say an illusion isn't Pennywise or is Pennywise or something like that. Power 2. This one would be in combination with the alternate power 1. A survivor being chased by it sees three different, or by Pennywise, sees three different Pennywise coming towards him from 3 seconds. So it would be a power that he can activate, something with tokens maybe, or something that charges. And when he's in chase, and that, as I said, that would only be for the alternate power, he can activate it, and then it looks like the killer is coming from different directions. Whether those would be logical directions or not I don't know. I wouldn't think it's important, but who knows? But it would at least make it a little bit confusing for the player if the Terratorus all of a sudden isn't really distinguishable or clear from which way it's coming, and you see 3 killers running towards you one of them is fake, 2 of them are fake, but which one? Or 3 of them are fake, but which one's the real one? That would be interesting, I think. Power 3, Portal Walk. This is one that both of them would have. That way they can utilize the illusionary portal. Pennywise can teleport to any illusionary portal. Either tokens or something that, charges up, like the Blink from the Nurse, sort of. Okay. Perks. A Phantom Gen. 1, 2, 3 fake gens spawn on the map. A failed skill check or completing the gen will reveal that it was a fake gen to the survivors. However, you can still complete the gen. It gives objective blood points and it gives emblem blood points. And any perk, for example, that triggers both killer and survivor side with completing a gen would trigger with the Phantom Gen. Nightmare is the next effect, and this one I even put on flavor text. I'm every nightmare you've ever had. I'm your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of. Effect. Every 60, 45, or 30 seconds, a random survivor sees a realistic illusion, that means with heartbeat and whatever effects they have, of the current killer coming towards him for 10 seconds. Last perk would be seeing things, also a flavor text. Want a balloon? Illusion portals, not illusion portals, illusion pallets spawn and despawn randomly across the map. So if you see a pallet despawn, he has a perk. Only in places where pallets once were or could have spawned. So if a pallet was broken, or if it's a place where a pallet could spawn, that's where the illusion portal pallets spawn. They can spawn. Illusion pallets also despawn when a survivor gets too close. So it wouldn't be like Freddy's pallets that you have to drop to see that they're fake, or Doctor's pallets that you run through and see that they're fake. No, they would despawn when you get somewhat close to it. But on the downside, you can't for certain say, unless you see that a pallet is broken, if it is an illusion pallet or not. Because it would also work with, for example, windows of opportunity, in my opinion. Okay. How do you like my take on Pennywise? Do you have any suggestions? Do you have any ideas for perks that he could have had, or he could have? Any other ideas for powers he could have? Write them in the comments, tweet them at me, or come into my Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and every other Wednesday and Friday on the even calendar weeks. Different games. Tuesday, Dead by Daylight. And I thank you. Till next time. Toodles.